Happy Wednesday. It is September 21st, almost gearing up towards the end of the month, heading into beautiful fall October weather here in the next week and a half or so. My name is JoAnn. I am the marketing manager here at Legendary Marketer, and I am so excited to be here. Behind the scenes, it's been a little bit of a crazy morning. We had a last minute cancellation, and we have a new guest that said he could come on about 10 minutes ago. So he hopped in the shower quick and put on his Legendary shirt and is joining us this morning. So like it's live TV, live interview, things happen. So definitely put some hand emoji collapse together for me and help me welcome our last minute guest this morning, Jim. Jim, how's it going?
How's it going? Yoo-hoo! All right. We're here. We're live. It's great.
Yeah.
Great to be here. My wife said, make sure I slow down and let you talk so I can hear you first. So, in fact, my kids have a 10-minute rule. And my wife too, but I'm only allowed to talk to my friends like 10 minutes, and then there's a cutoff. I don't think they understand the 10 minutes. I think it's like 5 to 7, and they start hounding me, but it doesn't matter. So we're here. We're live. How are you doing?
I am so great. I'm so excited you're here. I'm filling in for Matt. He's a hair under the weather this morning.
Oh, that's
so we're kind of juggling things all over the place, but it's all good. I took a look at your content and all of that good stuff, and I'm super excited. Sometimes, it's nice to bring on someone. I know you're a little bit older, but not that old.
Just my body.
That's right.
Just my body. I still feel like alcohol is illegal. Like if I go in a store, I look around to see if anybody's watching me to buy it. I still got that young. I don't know if I ever made it past 19. It took me. I may be 20 by now.
I love it. I love it. All right, so share with all of us how you got to where you are right now. How did you find Legendary? What were you looking for? All that good stuff.
Well. Do you want to start with just that part, or you want me to start in the beginning?
Oh, go for the beginning. Let's hear it.
All right. When I was a kid, my dad was World War II vet Navy guy, and he was a frogman. So a frogman is a guy that is the predecessors to the SEALs. So he always was an entrepreneur. He was an entrepreneur spirit. I would say I grew up along the coast. I was born in Dallas, Texas, in Parkland Hospital, the same hospital they took John F. Kennedy to after the assassination by Lee Harvey Oswald. And they took him to that hospital. Well, it became famous. So they made a movie called Parkland, and it talks about the aftermath of what happened, when the FBI and everybody came and said, why did this happen? Well, how did you let the president, And so I was born in Dallas and then raised along the coast. My dad always he was an entrepreneur. He had these businesses. He had a park, and a hurricane came and took out the entire park, so it was gone. Then he started like a carnival, and a tornado came and took it out. And so then we moved up north in 1968, started a restaurant business. We had a barbecue sauce, Texas Road's barbecue sauce. And that my dad and the governor of Texas had, the governor's brother had come up with this barbecue sauce. So my dad sort of settled down a little bit and had a restaurant. Well, I am not exaggerating here. In 1968, in the fall, I was in first grade. An earthquake came in Illinois, southern Illinois, and leveled the school. It was on a Sunday. Been big national news if it was on a Monday, but it was a Sunday, and the business, the restaurant, all the windows cracked, all the plates fell off the shelves, and then we headed up north. Then he had a swap shop.
Wow.
And it was like a auction type swap shop, so what he called it. And he was even going to have Johnny Cash. My dad and Johnny Cash's dad were friends. Mm-hmm. And so he was going to have Johnny come and and actually sell and be, the auctioneer. And so
Right.
you could, say, this piece of paper here, have if Johnny Cash was auctioneering it, somebody would buy it for $1, $5. You know what I mean? And,
Right. Definitely. Yeah.
well, then, he had a heart attack. And so then that ended that business. And then he started one of the most unique businesses in 1972. It was called Metallic Recycling Systems. And the way that we do recycling nowadays, that, I would be sitting on a big boat right now in the Gulf of Mexico. You know what I mean? It would have been completely different life. He even put my name on the checks with him. And, but then, when I was 13, he passed away. And so 1975. And, so then, they didn't have computers in schools when I was in school. So in 1980, I graduated and I went to electronics school, DeVry. I wanted to really know electronics. And I always have been a tech since. But I really wanted to do it for musical engineering, something like that. But
Okay.
I didn't, so I was 18 and I didn't get a job, which job stands for just over broke. I'm telling you,
Right.
for all the people out there that really want an acronym of something. And I'll tell you what, when I was 33, I lived in California. And I went to California in Silicon Valley, and the economy in the Midwest was tough. The automobile industry had really took a hit. Detroit, all that blew into Chicago. I'm talking about the parts and all the parts that go to the automobile industry. So there was a lot of lack of employment in the 80s. So I went to Silicon Valley. I went to Silicon Valley to meet Bill Gates, Steve Wozniak, and Stephen Jobs. That was my goal. I was going there to hang out with them guys, be their friends, buddies, whatever, and do electronics. And really, that was my goal. But I went out there and guess what happened? I went to Advanced Micro Devices and got laid off. So it wasn't even a real job. I didn't even really have the job. So then I worked as subcontracting through the bank and doing things that, this and that. Never had I had a 9-to-5 job. And then, all of a sudden, I've lived like a rock star in California. So it was like if I was going to have children, it was time to settle down. So I moved back to the Midwest, where there was mom and family members, so to have children and that. And I was 33, and that's when I did it. That's when I did the hardest thing I almost ever did. It was, I never forget the day. I went and I come up to this time clock, and I went and I was looking at this time clock, and I put my hand out and I pulled it back, and I was looking at that time clock, and I was like, man, this is it. I got to have a haircut and get a real job. Man, this is really happening. I don't want this. I can't do this. And the guy behind me taps me in the shoulder. He goes, hey, let me help you. And I was like, no. And ching, and there it was. I had a 9-to-5 job. And I'll tell you what, I've never really had a 9-to-5 job. I'm closest now than I've ever had to actually a 9:30 to 9:30 job. But I there it was. I clocked in and I've been broke since and until now. And now, I don't throw money around into the fire pit yet, but I'll tell you what, I have learned the secret to making money is don't spend it. Don't Maserati. Don't buy that Corvette, that 1959 Corvette with the top off. No. Invest your money, invest in yourself, invest in what you can do, what you can help other people do. And then I've always have a serving attitude. I love serving people. I love helping people. I love coaching. I mean, I've coached football, started I helped myself and 3 other guys. We started an entire coaching league in the area. It was like Pop Warner. Pop Warner's for the younger football. And, and I really, at first I was like, well, they're kind of young and small, but then I saw the alternatives to the coaches that would go instead of me. And I realized I have to go because I want to help these kids get mentally and physically fit and protect themselves from injury and that type of thing. So I already coached basketball. I'd already coached baseball, and I don't know nothing about baseball. They wouldn't let me play. My dad wouldn't let me play. He always taught me. He made me learn things when I was a kid. He said, "No, baseball's no good for
Right.
you. I'm going to help you out."
Right.
And my dad was right. He's an entrepreneur, and
Yeah.
he was right. I mean, but I could hit the ball. I was 6'6". I could hit the ball farther than anybody at recess.
Oh, you're a tall guy.
Yeah. But yeah, 7'1" arms, and so
Oh my goodness.
I made money with that, by the way.
So
Nobody believes me.
how did you initially hear about Legendary?
Okay, I was close. I'm getting close. I'm
Oh,
wrapping.
okay.
And so anyway, I finally settled down, got them, clocked in job, started doing
Right.
that. And
Right.
then I got laid off, of course, and then found another job that was outdoors, and I liked it for a while. And then the company folded. So then I worked for Big Brother Overlord. All right, that's the best I can say. And and that's really 9 to 5 job. You know what I mean? And so
Okay.
and so I'd been doing that, and then I met the woman of my dreams. I went through a divorce,
Oh.
in 2000. 10, and
Mhm.
then, but that's, usually you think like, why God, what did I do wrong? Where did I fail? Failure, all that thing. But it wasn't that. I hit the jackpot. I met the woman of my dreams, married her, and she is the real deal here. She is the real entrepreneur. One day during the pandemic, she got injured at a job. She's a school teacher. She grew up in
Okay.
Barcelona, and she got a scholarship when she was 15 to Barcelona in Spain, and was a school teacher and a principal for about 23 years there. Went to Guatemala, taught school for about 7 years, then came here and found me. That was the only purpose. I mean, I'm absolutely positive of it. We're both positive of it. She had no reason to be in Davenport, Iowa. And we met at a Starbucks, fell madly in love, and still super in love to this day. So happy right now. You have no idea how happy we are today. We're happy to be here. We're happy to be with you. And we're happy to be with Legendary, like times 10, And so
Yeah.
my wife started searching for something more. She had a
Okay.
injury, and she had to have her shoulder fixed, and that was painful, and she didn't really want to go back to a job. She didn't want to go back,
Right.
and
Right.
started searching, and she searched, and we found something that cost a bunch of money, right? And
Yeah.
I said, no, babe, I don't think there's enough there. I don't think that's an I'm not sure if that is the source of what we're really looking for. And then she came across Brian Brewer, and and
Okay.
and she followed up on it and started it. And I said, okay. She goes, I really, trust this guy. And okay, I said, okay, let's, and then it was like the rug got pulled out from under the table, because all of a sudden this guy, Dave Sharpe, shows up. I'm like, wait, this isn't Brian. This is Dave. I mean, what's going on here? So I was really like skeptical at first. I was like, oh,
Okay.
something's up here. And then my dad was 5'7". And I'm going to say Dave and my dad are very similar in many ways. And I started watching him, and I'll tell you what, Dave might be one of the best content speakers that have really been out there. That really can put so much out while he's talking, and that you can
Yeah.
understand and you can relate to. And all of a sudden I said, hey, I like this. And then the more I did it, the more I started believing in myself that yes. And then I realized, what in the heck am I doing? Why am I doing this 9 to 5 job? Why? There's no, no. It was never meant to be. That day that I punched that time clock was a big mistake. It was a really different thing. Yes, it put some food on the table. But if I went on a vacation, I had to use a credit card. Then what I do, pay that credit card down all year until Christmas. And then I wanted to have Christmas with the kids and everything. So you put more back on the credit card. Then you pay it all down. And you don't really get it paid down. You know what I mean? And so that's why JOB stands for just over broke. And so then the first guy was Matt. Matt came on, and Matt is a good person. And everybody else in Legendary is a good person, but Matt is like innocent good. He's just innocent. You know, and he says things like, don't worry about it. You know, when you're going through the blueprints and the training, he says, oh, don't worry about that. You'll be all right. Don't suffer for that. Don't suffer for that. And those little things that he said helped me so much not to suffer, not to think, oh, I can't do this. You know, it's too much for my brain. I've only got 2 brain cells from the 70s left. I have to download a bunch of information on one to upload. You know, and I'm on an upload overcharge, you know, and I'm burning these 2 brain cells so bad I don't want to lose them. You know, and he would calm me down, and he'd calm me down, and then Dave would fire me up, and then Matt would calm me down, and then Dave would really fire me up, you know. And so it was I love it, you know. I love the energy.
Yeah, there's a nice balance between the 2 of them, and you put their minds together, and it's pretty phenomenal for sure.
And then Drew came along, and I took the, you know, and joined the group and watched him on Mondays. And
Marketers Club,
he was more than my brain, you know. I mean, as I was learning, then he was more. So I could learn this much. Then with him, I was able to learn them next few steps to go up. And he would really push me to farther up, and my wife, and then things got really, really good from there, you know. And so go ahead and ask me a question. My wife
so
said,
exactly when did you start Legendary? Did you guys go through the challenge a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 months ago? What was that date?
October 2020. There it is. This is my beautiful entrepreneur wife.
Hello.
Yo, lady.
Hi, how are you guys? Well, we are on 2 platforms different here, but it's the same. He's on ClickBank. I am on Hotmart. It's on Spanish. Okay. So, but it's the same. It's the same. That's amazing.
My wife's on her 2nd campaign right now in Facebook. And when I first heard about Facebook and campaigns through Matt, I was like, man, no way. You know, you start putting money into this and your ads and stuff, and you don't know what you're doing. You may just pump out a bunch of money. And my wife has found how to, by working with Canva and all the things. My wife really has gotten her videos and her.
But he's really good and legendary too.
I love it. So you guys are also doing paid ads on top of organic, correct? Did I hear that right?
My wife does. I'm learning from her. I sit back and really help her, and she helps me. How's that? I'll be honest with you.
I love the teamwork. I love the teamwork. That's awesome.
In like this room, you know, this room my wife set up. You know, there's a chalkboard over this way. Okay, that way. Even though I know this is weird, it's backwards on the video. But you know, this is a desk here. We have another one downstairs, and that way we both can work at the same time. It's really been blessing. You know?
So let's talk about that. She found the challenge. You were skeptical a little bit, but then dove in. How is it working alongside your partner in the same house? Did you guys need to find, okay, this is your space, my space, or is it really collaborative and teamwork? What's it like working together?
It's so much fun. I've never had so much fun. Yeah, I have. I've had a lot of fun, but it's clean fun. No alcohol, drugs, or anything involved to make it. I mean, we're talking, it's not. We love, like yesterday. Okay, my next video. Okay, we were driving down the road yesterday. We were heading to a place where my wife, we're going to a wedding in a couple weeks, and my wife got a dress, and she bought it offline. And so this dress is a little big for her. She's very petite, beautiful, super gorgeous. And but so we knew this seamstress that was in a town, which is, this ain't even really a town. There's no gas station. There's no.
Okay.
Nothing.
If there's no gas station, it's not a town. No.
It doesn't even have a post office, it's just, but it's got about 20, 30 houses, it's Fenton, Illinois, it's by the river. And we go there, we're driving down the road, and guess what we see? Now, we're in the Midwest. We're in northern Illinois. We're in cornfields. We saw a zebra. I mean, these people on a farm had a zebra. So guess what we do? We stop. I U-turn, drive right into the ditch, back in, back around, and pull over, and we take videos of this zebra. And so my next video will be one, or I'm not sure exactly the next one, not after this. I'm so supercharged right now that I don't know what I'll do next, but the thing is that we took a video of that zebra. Then we go on down the road, and there was a bunch of goats, little billy goats. So we stopped and filmed them,
Right.
and we went to this place called the House on the Rock. And it's this really eccentric guy that built all these carousels and things in his house, and he didn't even really want to share it with nobody. It's an amazing place. If you ever get this chance to see it, it's in Wisconsin. And that place was just phenomenal, and we did a lot of videos there. And so what we found is like today, if we didn't have this, we're going to go to the lake. There's a lake right outside of town here, a park called Rockwood, and get on a boat and do videos there. So what we found is we love to go places and do our videos. So we laugh so hard because it's so silly making videos,
I love it.
So here it is.
Okay, so let me stop you because you said something that I really want our viewers and our listeners to take in.
Okay.
There are many people starting out in their journey, and they just sit in one room, in one place, and all of their videos are in the same place, and they're talking about the same thing. Guys, listen, Jim is sharing, him and his wife are planning. They're building out strategy. They're thinking of content ideas. They're thinking outside the box. How can we look different? How can we show up differently than everyone else and still have fun doing it? Right? They don't care about what anyone else thinks. They're going to go to the lake. They're going to make TikTok videos on a boat later today. Listen to as he's sharing his story, what they're both really doing. They are thinking outside of the box. How can we show up online differently, but authentically to what we love, what we enjoy? And that is such a gift that you're sharing with our audience this morning. That's huge. And I love that. And I know someone made a comment because you said chalkboard. I don't care if it's a chalkboard, whiteboard, iPad. You guys are planning. You're building out strategy. And that's what is crucial here. You aren't just throwing a random video and hoping it sticks. You're building out a long game. You guys are masterful at what you're building, and it's beautiful and it's authentic to you. And I freaking love it. So awesome. Kudos. I hope everyone really grabs that this morning from you guys.
I want to say something. Sometimes, for example, my husband, I love cook. He loves too. But sometimes he's cooking. I go there. We put a tripod on the kitchen and we make one video like that.
Yes.
Cooking together. Or sometimes we like dancing, but we cannot dance it really. But we put one music there and we move, and this is for make one video.
Yes.
We driving and we go somewhere and we put in the cameras there and we make one video. See? So
Right.
where we go, where something we do together is motivation for do one video, because we share our life, and we know that this life and our age sometimes is not easy. See,
No.
for the money, for many problems, but for
Yeah.
us, it's nice they share the life and
Mhm.
any moment. See,
Yeah.
it's amazing, and I love what he do, and he loves what I do.
Yeah.
And we
Mhm.
enjoy together. And sometimes in his life, he talk about me. My life, sometimes I have a 2-3 life a day. So I talk about him. See,
Mhm.
it's amazing. For us, it's one gift.
It's a blessing. It's a gift.
Work together.
Yeah. And I thank you and I thank Dave and all of Legendary that because we are being blessed. Everybody that does this, it will happen. You will make it. You just keep trying. Go back to the blueprints. And if you know me, um, I get confused or think something, I just go to the blueprints and I restart watching them, and then it comes back to me. Or I watch Drew, or I watch Matt, and I watch you. You know, I watch these, and then go to other people's videos and watch them and look at them and learn. Joshua Smith had a definitely big effect on me. I took the 5 days with him. Things like that, people, you need to do. You know, if you know, Warren Buffett. You know,
It's really about deciding. Let me stop you for a second. It's deciding you will be successful. Just hearing you speak, it's not an optional. It's not, I hope, I think. You aren't using those words. And I hope everyone is really catching on to that. You're using, I am going to do this, so let's figure it out.
Right.
Oh, I hit a roadblock today. Awesome. Let's figure out how to get past it. What do I need to learn? What do I need to change? What do I need to pivot? There's never oh, I'm struggling today, or this video isn't going, so I'm just going to pause for the next 3 weeks and then think about it for a while. You don't do that. You just go, okay, let's try something different. All right, let's go back to my education. Let's see what I missed. What's the next step that I can apply? And that's the difference between being successful and not. It's the drive, the consistency, and the mindset, the determination. I am going to do this. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to use my resources, and I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. And man, your energy and your commitment to that journey with your wife it's beautiful. I love it. I love it.
and you know, she has been very successful. Number one, she was a school teacher. So you heard her when she said she does 2 or 3 lives a day. Well,
Wow.
I love it because I sat back. Now she does them in Spanish. I've always wanted Steph and her and stuff, you know, just different. I don't know who actually, but I do know there's a big demand in Spanish online, and my wife is part of that. She's international. She is getting clients from all over. She just had a client from the Ukraine, or not Ukraine, the UK, and I've got some from the Ukraine. That you know, this has been hard because they have to worry about things like getting able to use the internet because the other team, I don't want to say things get us in trouble, but the other team will find out where they are by zeroing in that they're using a phone, a communication device, and they can find the signal and they can track people. So I'm talking and helping people in the Ukraine to try to just have food. You know, this ain't about, it ain't about just, you know, making money. It's about putting food in their stomachs. And it's hard for me sometimes, you know. I mean, when I do it live and they come on, all of a sudden this gets almost political, which is hard for me. I'm not political. I mean, I'm not, I'm my own type policeman. I mean, if I see something bad going on, I'm going to help, and that's just the way I've been all my life.
Right.
But
Well, don't you think also that the goal of your drive to serve is really your why? It's not necessarily just to make money. It's you love to teach, you love to
right,
coach, you love to serve, you love to help.
yes,
So you're using your platform to
yes.
do that in its own way. And that's what's really cool, for
I
sure.
didn't get
Yeah.
a chance to sign out that little form, but ask me
Yeah.
what I do for a living.
What do you do
Before
for a living, Jim? What'd you do before?
I worked with robotics. Now I teach robotics. I teach kids for free. For free. I teach kids
Oh,
how to build robots and how the basics, just the beginning part, the basics, how the motors and the servos and the computers work together to make the arm move and how it works with robotics. Now, in the application of the real world, I did it in like automation. So automation, why would you have automation? Because I worked in -20. Why do you work in -20, you say? Because ice cream biodegrades at -10. And that blew my mind when I learned that. When I was doing my job, I'm like, why am I in this -20, man? My joints, my knees, are everything. It's killing me. And thanks to Legendary, thank you, Dave. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Drew. Thank you, JoAnn. Not in -20 no more.
mm,
Do you understand? No, I love my job. I loved making machines work with computers to be
right.
completely automated. And the beautiful thing I learned early was from the engineer that built this, $22 million robot that I work with. And he I saw him one day. I caught him. He didn't know I was there, and I saw this guy. On the camera, and so I ran down. I caught him, and I knew who he was. I figured out who he was. He's the engineer that designed and the architect of this particular robot. And I said, "Hey, check it out. You might be able to improve on these because you're using these proximity switches that came in on the Mayflower." Well, this guy spoke barely English, right? And
Right.
he get my joke. He didn't even have a clue what I was saying. And
Mm.
but these proximity switches are old school. These were made in the 80s. They aren't the new ones that are made in the modern time. And I'm like, why are we using these? But he didn't. He stopped me right there. He stopped me. He said, "No, that isn't. This machine runs perfectly in a perfect world." There it is. I figured it out. I was so happy. I'm like, oh, I always have a job because it isn't a perfect world.
Exactly, right? I mean, let's end with that as the last takeaway. Stop looking for perfect. It doesn't exist.
No.
So we've got to just put things out there and just keep going.
Keep going.
Imperfect action perfectly is probably the best way.
And
All right. So I didn't get a chance to grab your socials because people are asking where to follow you. So I think I have your TikTok is Make Money Online with Jim. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So let me share that. And then are you also creating content for Facebook?
Yes. And Instagram. And
Okay.
I'm going to be.
And I think on Facebook, you can just search your name. It's Jim Ferry, correct?
Yes.
Ferry.
Yes.
And then on TikTok, you can follow Jim at Make Money Online with Jim. So definitely go give him a follow. I love your energy. I love the partnership that you and your wife have, not only in life and in marriage, but also in business. And you find the joy. Guys, they're finding joy every day with what they're doing. And it's just so cool and beautiful to see. I love it. I love it, love it, love it.
It is. It is amazing. Chris and Susan, does that ring a bell to you? They are a couple that they've been doing with Legendary. When I first saw Dave, the first person I saw with him was a pastor, and that had a lot. That was real close to my heart. You know, I loved it. And then I saw this couple, Chris and Susan, and we followed them for quite a while. And they would drive their car, and they would just stop, open up the trunk, pull out their tripod, some chairs, and do videos everywhere. And that was very inspirational. We followed them and realized that this was a great opportunity as a couple to do entrepreneur together, you know. And then my wife found that it was easier for her to do it in Spanish. And she grew up in Europe. She has a European Spanish. And being a teacher, that really comes off. So I recommend all of you out there, if you've had your ability to teach, or I did training, and I've been teaching people how to build robots. I've been coaching. Use those teaching benefits that you've had and enrich them, make them more, and serve. Be a server. I serve people. You know, I find it hard to help my friends. It's like, you know, I don't want to see them fail. I don't want to see anybody fail. And I don't think they're failure as long as you keep.
We can all win. There's no losers. Everyone can win at this. Right?
No losers, you know. And that's the thing. It's with a 9-to-5 job, you're restricted. You're under somebody else's rules and expectations. And, you know, when you're yourself, you get a little nervous and say, hey, man, I got to do something. I got to try. And so push yourself. Use that energy of nervousness and push. Do multiple videos. Do them different ways. Don't be the same. Don't be just a talking head. But Joshua Smith, man, I mean, he really does show you a lot of good ways to do things. And that's where I've seen the big change in my videos, is by doing a little shorter and a lot of content, and that content get them to have to watch it 2 or 3 times. That does the algorithm. Do you want a golden nugget? You want a golden nugget?
Yep. Let's hear it. We've dropped a lot already if people have been listening. So let's hear one final golden nugget.
And this is my wife. She came up with this a few days ago. She goes, do you know it's an AI algorithm that is running TikTok? And what does that mean? That means that they are watching everything that you're watching on TikTok. It's creepy. It's Big Brother watching you, and they are watching all your video contents, what you're looking at, what you're doing, everything. So guess what? Go to the guidelines, the rules of TikTok, and read them. Do it every day, and your videos will go up, because the algorithm knows that you're looking at the rules and you're complying. So a lot of people, they get in with the TikTok police and they get in trouble. So go to these active guidelines. Even if we go on there and we punch it on and set it down and have dinner. And my wife's videos went from 500 or so to 5,000 to 7,000, like 10 times.
Wow.
Now, I don't, you know how all this changes and how it all might change for you, and everybody's different, the AI is different, and all that kind of stuff. That's what makes it so much fun, because, you know, if you have a bad day or your videos aren't going great, then make a little tweak here, tweak there, and pay attention and watch other people's videos that have something to do with your niche, with your niche. You know, is it niche or niche, JoAnn? Tell me. I mean,
jury's out on that. So I always say niche, but everyone else at Legendary says niche. But I always say niche. But it's just potatoes, tomato.
Yeah. Yes. You're a little surprised to get me today. Did you expect this? You didn't know. You don't know when somebody comes onto these, you know. So we're it's real. It's real. It's real. Yep. All you guys out there, I know you're struggling. You're pressure. You need money. I know. Dave has said it. Don't give up, because the day you give up, the next day you were going to make a bunch of money. I'm going to tell you. The
You
next
never
day
know.
made the money. You just don't know what day that is, so don't give up.
Yeah.
It's coming. It's a blessing. But keep working, keep striving, keep doing videos, find different ways to do videos,
Yeah.
and do different things. I'm a completely different person. I didn't have this facial hair when I started. I didn't have long hair my whole life. The
Oh,
20 pandemic changed everything. And I got
right.
to be part of Legendary during that time, which I thank God every day, because it gave me
Right.
purpose and direction and vision. And, I'm thankful to this day. I can sit here and give you hours more content, but my wife said, slow down. She give me the signal. No, she
Well,
already,
I really appreciate you coming on last minute and helping us out this
I
morning.
love it.
Two, I just really appreciate having you and your energy, sharing your gifts, your insight, your strategy with all of us this morning. And we definitely have to have you back on the show in the coming months. Your wife needs to join you full
Yeah.
time on the show instead of just popping in little seconds, and have you both on. And I really appreciate it. And I appreciate your time. And man, if energy alone, guys, I love your energy, your outlook on life. It is beautiful. And what a great way to kick off Wednesday in the middle of the week. So thank you.
It was a pleasure to be here. I hope I get a chance to be interviewed by both Matt and Dave. And, I would love to come back, give them guys, I've got something that is so worth Dave wants to hear. I promise you.
Okay.
I've got a little client that he will not believe that he might not throw his hat down, but he will want to meet this guy. And,
Oh, I
oh
love
yeah.
any moment that brings a hat throwdown from
Yeah,
Dave. So.
but it's phenomenal. I mean, he might throw the hat. I mean, but it's like
Okay.
amazing the people that we've had we've helped. And my wife is just, she's on a level that I get to try to achieve. And that's what's really nice is there's no animosity. We both keep pushing each other. She's my boss, really, honestly. She pushes me, get up in the morning, let's go, did you do your videos today? But that I need. I love it. I
Right.
love it. Cannot get enough of it. It's like, yeah, you're right. Focus. Because me, I'm nonchalant. I live like every day is the greatest day ever. Let's enjoy the whole day, but enjoy
Yes.
the day and do your work. And that's what Legendary is about. That's what doing this is about. It's never been in the history of mankind anything like this. So you're getting opportunity that's beyond years and years of what people have suffered by having to do 9-to-5 jobs and had no other choice. They had to survive. And so with this, it's not just survival, it's life. It's life. Legendary life. In life with Legendary. That's all I'm going to say right here. There it is. I got the merch, and it
Yes,
fits.
I love it.
Looks
Here's
good.
where anyone can buy, belegendary.shop, grab one of our t-shirts. And Jim, thanks again for coming on the show today. It was a pleasure, and have a great day, and stay legendary as always.
Later.
All right, guys. Wow, what a great Wednesday. What a storyteller Jim is. I love it, and his energy. And definitely go back and watch that replay and grab all of those nuggets that him and his wife shared with us this morning throughout the episode. And as always, stay legendary. Have a great day. We'll be back tomorrow with another episode and another guest.